Yeah. Compared to in Berkeley. Is that what you're saying?
I want to add one more thing. The dining halls at UCLA are a lot better than the ones at... I want to add one more thing.
Compared to in Berkeley. Is that what you're saying?
I want to add one more thing. The dining halls at UCLA are a lot better than the ones.
守卫战的每周次数增加嘞。
That is true.
Yeah, like the food matters a lot when you pick your college.
Let's talk about before you get into college. You guys all studied in high school in Taiwan, right? What are some of the things that you needed to do before you applied for college here in the States?
You have to take SATs and TOEFL.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
But I would say, like, in high school, you can either do AP or IB. I think this is a really major part. So most people who come to the United States, they do AP. And for IB, it's more for like European and British schools.
You guys didn't take the 学测 or 自考, anything like that, nothing. The entire course of your 3-year high school life is focused on getting all those tests that you just mentioned. So you didn't study any history or social studies that's needed in Taiwan?
No.
The SAT is only like English and math, so that's all you have to study. But then a lot of schools are actually test blind or test optional right now, so you don't even have to take the SAT. You just have to apply with like your application.
If the score is not important, what should you focus on? Is there like special preparations or extracurricular activities that you need to do?
Extracurricular. I can take this one. So basically, college value 3 different aspects when they look at your application. The first one will obviously be standardized test score, and the second part will be your grade point average, your GPA, so your grades in high school. And the third part will be your extracurricular activities, and that will reflect on your
activities that you need to do?
Extracurricular. I can take this one. So basically, college value 3. Different aspects when they look at your application. The first one will obviously be standardized test score. Different aspects when they look at your application. The first one will obviously be standardized test score. And the second part will be your grade point average, your GPA. So your grades in high school, and the third part will be your extracurricular activity. And that will reflect on your application when you write your essay. So when you write essay on your college app. You will write about what you do in high school or outside of school. That shows your personality side.
How do you distribute your time like in high school so that you guys can get into a better college here in the States?
I would say prioritize your GPA because if you don't meet the requirement, you're automatically
Out.
yeah. But extracurricular definitely because more prestigious schools they like people who can lead, who can be in teamwork setting and communication skills and all that.
Somehow they already want you to like succeed in some way.
Before coming here, succeeding more.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Are there any culture shocks or anything that left a lasting impression on you?
There's more Asians like at UCLA than I expected because when I like read the UCLA like demographics before I came, it was like 40% Asians. Was it like 40?
It's called UCLA.
We see a lot of Asians.
We're actually the majority.
Yeah.
Pretty much half the time here you're just speaking Mandarin.
Is that a good thing?
And one thing I want to say is the tipping culture is like
Half the time
a lot of Asians.
We're actually the majority.
Yeah.
pretty much half the time. Time here you're just speaking Mandarin.
Is that a good
We're actually the majority.
Yeah.
Pretty much half the time here you're just speaking Mandarin.
Is that a
Mandarin.
要是公主也有这样的岛屿就好了，管就要当岛主。魔法师修理抱团作战的小鬼，简直不能更厉害。不过遇到敏捷型的对手，可能还没出招，就容易先被人家制服。
good thing?
And one thing I want to say is the tipping culture is like kind of crazy here. So
快来看看，欢迎光临哈姆。
so every time you like eat out, you have to like tip 15% or like more.
Yeah.
It's like considered.
18 now. It's 18.
On top of that, there's like 9.5% like tax.
Yeah.
So every meal you're paying like
对商人的了解吗？老实说，
25% extra at least.
Yeah. Because of that, you go out less now?
The frequency that we go out, I don't think it changes depending on the tipping, just because
We have no choice. We live in a dorm, so we don't have like kitchen.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see. You know, do you guys keep count of how much you spend on a monthly basis?
Trip.com 預訂平價機票。
真是错了。
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
I
Okay.
you don't, because my
But
parents
you
like,
still care about the tips
I-
that you give out.
I mean, yeah, no, because my parents send me like money like once in a while, so that money just lasts like 1 quarter.
Oh,
yeah. So I just have to like make sure that lasts me like 1 quarter. Yeah, that's it.
I actually just calculated my total expenditure for October. It was around 300 or something.
在中低考会需要，不过伤害了
Wait, what?
然后我们要更正一下，刚刚有人说300，但是后面有一些额外的讨论。So 300 covers what? The food,
Groceries, food,
Additional expense?
for entertainment.
那要算啊，那要算在里面，这也是每个月的花费。
Well, I've only been here for a month, but it was
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
I know.
I've been here for a month, but it was $1,000.
Okay，里面这也是每个月的花费。
Well, I've only been here for a month, but it was $1,000.
如果遇到敏捷型的对手，可能还没出招就容易先被人家制服。如果你不知道怎么变强，就了解一下变强功能吧。
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
I know, like from me and like my friends, it's like around 600 to 800.
Yeah.
What about tuition? Did you guys actually like put together in the 4 years that you spent here? How much in total would you have to spend in order to get that 1 degree?
So we have 3 quarters, and each quarter is like
Like 21,000
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
tuition and like housing.
Yeah. So that's about like 63,000 per year. We're not from California. We're not California resident. Because if you're a California resident, you get much cheaper.
As international students, we're basically sponsoring.
For all the other local students. It's the same in Oxford. I think in a lot of like international schools, prestigious schools, they want to still leave out some slots for the local students.
Yeah.
And as international students, we just have to be the breadwinner. How much would that be for 4 years? 240K.
That's only like tuition and housing. Like, if
卫兵的外貌选拔很严格，一定要一替，毕竟是王国的门面。据说
you consider like extra costs, maybe like 800. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
What are some of the other difficulties that you might face as an international student from Taiwan?
I mean, this is very specific, but I don't think you can do a savings account for some banks.
Oh, some banks, yeah.
Because you need the social security number, and without a part-time job on campus, you can't have a social security number.
As an international student, after you graduated, very soon they would like, you know, your visa. Expire. So you either have to go back or find like a new sponsorship, and that's a really stressful moment. So that's why like a lot of people want to find internships, but as international students, it's harder to find internships because like companies are like, oh, do we have to sponsor you? And
欢迎光临茶馆。
it's harder to find internships because like companies are like, oh, do we have to sponsor you? And next.
Despite that, is everyone still trying to stay here after graduating?
I kind of like Taiwan more just because it's like more convenient. Because here, like, if you want to go to something, it's usually like a 20 to 30 minute drive.
Yeah.
And without like a car, it's really inconvenient. As in Taiwan, like, I have a motorcycle, I just like scooter 5 minutes, I'm at the mall or something. You know?
That's the same for me. My plan is like maybe work here if I can, like for a few years, and you know, because the salary here is higher. But
Pay off your debts.
yeah, and then
Go back with the saving.
Yeah, because I like the lifestyle in Taiwan more.
So this final bit, after being here for so long, what advice would you give to maybe students still in high school in Taiwan and in the future they might want to come to the States?
I would say to like focus more on your extracurriculars and also make sure that you do a lot of long-term projects instead of just like short-term ones, because those really showcases like what you're passionate about, and that's really helpful when you come to like, for example, you see OA and then you can find clubs that you're interested in, and that's where you can actually make a lot of friends and form connections.
For the study part,
点击这里可查看经验加成相关描述哦。
Definitely do the best you can. And for extracurricular activities, don't set the goal as I want to do something, so I'm going to impress the colleges because I do this kind of stuff. Like, do it out of your own will, out of your own interest, and let the process like do its own work. Basically, plan for the best, but hope for the worst, because college application, it's basically a lottery game. So you can be like an A student from your class, but then only get into maybe like the middle tier colleges, but that's not your fault. Your class, but then only get into maybe like the middle tier colleges, but that's not your fault. That's just how
the system works.
Yeah.
I kind of want to add on to that. So, like, really just don't stress out, because a lot of the times when you apply to a school, they don't reject you because you're not good at it. because a lot of the times when you apply to a school, they don't reject you because you're not good at enough. It's just that the school might think you don't fit with its culture. So maybe you got rejected, you're sad, but it's probably because how the school thinks that you're not going to be happy. On campus anyways.
That's such a positive. Way to view it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Actually, what I like to add on to that, that's something not a lot of people know about. Different colleges have different personalities and what they value. So some people will give suggestions such as you research the college you really want to get into first and search what they value. You can actually go into like the college's website and just type in like UCLA values, and you can write your personal statement or your essay. Says subtly center around those values, and sometimes admission officers really like that.
Research like the location of the school. I think most of the times, like, because when I was applying, I didn't think about like the actual location because I think it's all the same. But after actually coming here and like visiting other schools and also talk to like friends from other schools, I realized like where you live does matter. So definitely take that into account.
Before you like pick where you go, you have to make sure you know like general vibe of the place. So like for me, I'm glad I didn't get into Berkeley because location's good. Like for me, before you like pick where you go, you have to make sure you know like general vibe of the place. So like for me, I'm glad I didn't get into Berkeley because location's good, food's good, like everything's good compared to like Berkeley. The academics is like definitely good, but food and the other stuff, the weather, I don't know.
Kelly is killing you with her. She has something to say.
She has to agree.
I disagree.
好的，那今天影片差不多讨论到这边，感谢大家。他们的年龄呢，差不多18、19岁，还蛮年轻的学生们，但是论述能力呢是非常的完整。那接下来的部分呢，因为我们刚刚其实讨论到很多 UCLA 跟 UC Berkeley， 那我们这边我觉得有一点 outnumbered， 因为有点太多 UCLA 的人，所以最后呢，我们把一段时间留给来自 UC Berkeley 的 Kelly。
好 ，Kelly，刚刚
Berkeley 被抨击成这样子，
你对刚刚的拍摄有什么感想吗？
我觉得好，我可以理解，因为他们是 UCLA， 所以会有点 bias。
哦，
所以需要我来帮 Berkeley 讲
辟谣一下啊，是。
对对对，就是我觉得他们说的确实 Berkeley 真的比较 career focus， 所以感觉会压力比较大。
对。
可是我觉得对我来说也算是一个好事，因为尤其因为它离矽谷很近，
对，
所以真的很 tech focus。然后就变成跟我念一样的东西的同才很多，然后我们就会有一种互相督促，互相就是从大一一进去，大家就 很激烈的开始在刷题啊、找工作，虽然会真的有点像一个就业训练所，就好像你没有真的have fun， 然后 experience 各种不同 major 什么，但是我覺得 in a way 也是這樣我才能找到工作，不然我搞不好畢業就失業了。
必理痛對身體溫和，24小時自然排出體外，不殘留。
恐龍得啦，
啱啱畢業，你開5萬蚊人工，係咪寫錯？
冇啊 ，fresh grad 5萬，唔係基本咩？
咁講下，
而且他是大3结束之后提早毕业，然后得到一份工作这样。
所以我觉得他们讲的是事实，但就是双面刃啦，看你想要怎么样。
你想要体验什么样子的大学生活？
对。
那我觉得这边也可以补充一个，是因为 Kelly 她的经历蛮特别的，她是高中的时候在台湾读北一女，所以是在一个体制内的学校，但是你准备的是来到美国读大学，所以 like how did that work out？
就是一边读台湾的书，要一边准备他们刚刚说的 SAT 啊、TOEFL、AP 什么那些，全部都是自己额外读，然后还有加 extracurricular，所以其实有点是2倍的 loading，然后就一定要找一个 balance。我的 balance 是我学校有放一点点，就比如说我如果全力读台湾的课业，我可以读到100分，我 maybe 就用80%的力，就是我读到80分，然后另外20%的力我就放去别的地方。对，但是我还有盯住 GPA， 因为 GPA 很重要，所以我
刚刚有讨论到。
对，我毕业的时候还是 4.0 毕业的，我就是盯到还是可以4.0。
但是你这样子还有时间做课外活动吗？
对，就是课外活动加那些考试。
你真的太可怕了，不是一般人的境界。
AP 也是因为 AP 虽然那些东西是你学过，可是那些 terms 全部你都要用英文再学一次。比如说我有考 like 生物啊，生物全部都是英文再背一次。虽然那些原理是一样，然后 chemistry 也是，所有 chemistry 真的那些东西的名字就是英文再重背。
其实我刚刚原本想要问他们一个问题，但后来想一想，好像不太适合问，是因为他们现在都还在学，所以他们也不知道。我想要问的是，他们花这么多钱，然后花这么多心力，特别来到美国读大学，like was it worth it？那但是对你来说，其实你都已经结束了，然后你现在已经在就业中，那你觉得对于你来说，你当初选择来美国读大学，你会怎么样评估这个选择？
我觉得对我来说很 worth， 但是我不会觉得对每个人都 worth。我觉得你要大概知道你未来的 path 是不是值得付出这么多的。讲很白是，如果你最后想要达成的这个 goal， 你其实可以不用 go out of the way， 花这么多钱，花台币1000万砸进去做这件事。我其实在台湾念个大学，我有一样的 outcome 的话，那我觉得 maybe it's not worth。你先想好你想要什么 path， 你大概查一下以后他的生活是怎么样子，然后再想你会不会真的想要付出那么多。
你真的是 J 型人格
真的
就是都规划好。我也是，就是都先查好规划好，确定之后再去做这样。
不然你钱都花下去了，然后最后发现好像没有很值。
对啦，对啊。好的，那以上就是我们这次 UCLA 的大乱斗，感谢 Kelly 今天陪我一起来，然后也在镜头后面听了很多被霸凌的话，但还是坚持住，继续的拍摄。对，我觉得 UCLA、UC Berkeley 就各有自己的取向啦，像就嘟嘟man的 Ian 跟 Eric 刚好就是一个人读 Berkeley， 一个人读
对，
他们两个也常常吵架。更多关于这个方面的话，可能可以再去问问看他们。那希望说今天这集呢，对于可能有想要了解美国大学生活，或者是你真的有考虑要来美国读大学的同学们，有一些帮助。好，那我们就下一支影片见喽，拜拜。等一下，有人生气了，有人生气了。UCLA No.1 怎么了吗？怎么了 ？UCLA No.1
Berkeley No.1
怎么了吗？
不要想跟我们争这个，我跟你说，我老字号比较厉害，好不好？
笑死。
弓箭手兼具灵活与机动性，不过近战却是他们的弱点。
Eclipse Plus 草本潤喉薄荷糖全新上市。
基金投資從 Direct 開始，直接認購摩根基金，有埋摩根投資分析，助你。
Hello， 我是阿迪，歡迎來到今天的職人訪談系列。我們通常呢，就是會邀請各領域的專家來跟我們分享他們自己在生活當中的經驗跟見解。那今天非常特別的是，邀請到了我個人非常喜歡的創作者，他們叫做 Doodoo Man。歡迎 Ian 跟 Eric。
大家好，我是 Eric， 我是 UC Berkeley 畢業的，是經濟和統計專修。
我是 Ian， 然後我是 UCLA 畢業的，是機械工程。
你們為什麼叫做 Doodoo Man？
因為我們很喜歡 Nike 的 Just Do It 的 slogan，就是 Do for Just Do It， 就是你想要做一件事情就去做。对，然後我們兩個人嘛，想說 Doodoo 比較可愛。
然後第一支其實你們被真的整個 YouTube 推到爆的，應該是蘋果的那一支，蘋果福利那一支。
對，
我第一支是入坑是那一支，那時候看到你頻道名字就覺得很親切，因為我姓都。
沒有，是我們很崇拜你。現在是 Do Man。
簡單跟大家介紹一下 Ian 跟 Eric 的頻道，就在鼓勵大家可以跳出舒適圈，去做自己真正想要做的那件事情，或者是去尋找你想要做的事情。那他們自己是不止口頭上講，是身體力行的這樣做。像比如說射個飛鏢，射去哪裡就要去。大家看似這個高薪啊、夢想的職業啊，為了自己想要做的事情辭職。不過大家可能比較知道他們是在矽谷的工作經驗啊，或是精算師的工作經驗。那今天與其聊這個，其實我個人比較好奇的是你們在美國大學的經驗。一個部分是因為你們的工作經驗在你們的頻道已經分享很多了，然後另外一個部分是因為我自己是國中讀美國學校，所以我國中最好的朋友後來都到美國讀大學，我就很向往就是美國 campus 的那種感覺，所以很想要聽聽看你們是在那邊待了4-5年，會有什麼樣子的文化差異。所以今天的話呢，我們就是要來跟 Ian 跟 Eric 聊一下在美國讀大學的經歷。那接下來的話呢，既然是在阿迪英文的頻道嘛，所以讓大家聽聽兩位非常完美的英文口音，聽起來很舒服的。沒有，這樣有壓力的。Okay, so from what I know, Eric graduated from Berkeley and Ian from UCLA, but in the videos that I've seen you guys do, you both seem to acknowledge that Berkeley is the better school.
No.
We both acknowledge that.
No. UCLA is the better school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He just doesn't want to admit.
I think it's common sense, right?
Yeah. But yeah, to be honest, recently UCLA ranking is higher than Berkeley.
Okay.
Until just recently again, UC Berkeley beat UCLA.
Yeah. So you're like rivalry school.
I wouldn't say rivalry because we are both public school. Rivalry is between private. And public schools.
Oh, yeah. I see. For example, Ivy League schools versus public schools.
Yeah, UC Berkeley is true rival is Stanford. And
our true rival is USC.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Berkeley is the first UC. Our true rival is USC.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Rival is Stanford.
Our true rival is USC.
Oh, I see.
Berkeley is the first UC school.
So it should be better.
So drawing from your experience, let's talk about some categories. First off, the campus. What does it look like to be in UCLA or to be in Berkeley?
I think UCLA is mostly red brick buildings. Yeah.
It's very consistent.
Very consistent. It's actually pretty.
It feels more historic.
Yeah. But I was gonna say UC Berkeley feels more historic because all the buildings are really different looking. Like if you put all of them together, it will seem kind of messy, but by itself, they will have a lot of history.
Okay, so in that sense, UCLA's campus is prettier?
I think it's prettier.
Can I say that?
You can say that.
Okay.
I actually agree with that.
It is prettier.
Yeah. When I visited UCLA, I was like, I want to go to this school. But when I visited UC Berkeley, I was like, I'll think about it.
And Berkeley is more gloomy. It has more trees and more hills.
More culture and
Do you guys also have 2 semesters like here in Taiwan? Or do you have a different system?
I don't know if UCLA is the only one.
I think most UCs have quarters.
We have quarter system. We have 3 quarters and summer, unless you want to take a summer class. Usually people just take internships, but usually throughout the school year we have 3 quarters. A little bit more focus on the arts and films because we're like right next to Hollywood.
Right. The location. If I were to choose, I think I would choose UCLA over Berkeley.
I think
Just
99%.
because of the location.
More parties, right?
It's just like right next to LA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 minutes to the beach and like 5 minutes to Hollywood.
There's actually not much to do in Berkeley, and that's why we spend most of our time studying.
And that's why you're the better school.
Yes.
In that sense, it would seem to me like Berkeley contains more nerdy people.
Yes, that's the stereotype.
That's the stereotype.
But I think
UCLA more like party.
Like when I visited Berkeley, I was a little surprised. Like I don't see a lot of girls wear makeup.
Yeah.
They don't even try to.
They don't
dress up.
care.
They don't really care too much.
Because they don't have the time. they were studying the whole time.
It's also worth pointing out here in Taiwan we have what's so-called 大学必修3学分, and that's 学业、爱情、社团. So is that the same in like the US?
Well, did you get any 爱情学分?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Did you have time to take those?
Yes, of course. But it all comes down to like individual time management, right?
Generally speaking, how many percent of your peers are dating at any given time?
I'm gonna say slightly over 50%.
Slightly over 50, okay.
Maybe 60, 70%.
I can kind of see and feel the difference, the vibe of the school. I'm wondering if it's really competitive there to graduate. I think the most competitive stage here in Taiwan would be the high school phase, where you have to study really hard, go to cram school, you don't have any weekends. But after that, when you go to college, it's when you are set free. So it's not that hard to graduate from college here in Taiwan. What about in the States?
I would say it's relatively harder in the States.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, even though we both graduated, I don't know about you, but I do know people who couldn't graduate.
I graduated.
No, I mean, I don't know about you, but I know some people who weren't able to make it, and then it was actually pretty stressful. Yeah.
Will that affect the resume when you're applying for jobs?
I don't think so, because they only look at your school and your GPA.
Okay.
So if staying another year will help with your GPA, then
unless they count the years, like you would say what year you graduated, and then they can backtrack what year you graduated from high school. Like, why is it 5 years or 6 years for you for college?
I took a gap.
預訂平價機票 ，YouTube.com@ 發掘驚喜機票優惠。
Yeah. Next up.
Hello， 说说你来找我究竟是因为什么事情吧？趁着他们的增援还没找过来，你赶紧走吧。我也要带着卡姆避一避了。希望你能体谅我作为一个母亲的私心。
术，怎么样？想要试试吗？点一点变强，看得见。哎，我押韵了。
如果恭喜你，这便是卢恩王国科。对了，卢恩的建国神话是用歌谣的。不客气，我还会在这里逗留一阵子。你要是有什么感兴趣的历史，
我对他们的关注点只有钱。欢迎。
找到隐藏其中你终于那天算了，感谢你的协助，路克西斯。